Mr. Speaker, we would not sit in this hollow chamber and restrict ourselves to just a few. If we begin to put such components into the Constitution, tomorrow the ecclesiastical faction comes up. The day after, the traditional faction comes up. The day after, all other components begin to come up. And what happens to our grand norm that is supposed to be the foundation of our existence? Mr. Speaker, Nigeria has never limited anybody from practicing his religion. You go to states like in the north where you have Sharia being practiced as the criminal code for those states. It is because it's peculiar to them as a people and as a persons. By the time we begin to expand it and bring it into our constitution, we are not an Islamic state. We're a secular state. We're not a celestial state. We're a secular state. We are not a traditional worship state. We're a secular state that respects and gives everybody a sense of belonging. We're a nation. We need to be sensitive to the mood and the existence, freedom of speech, freedom of association, to live in happiness, not a scenario whereby there could be some misconceptions. To this end, I wish to crave the indulgence of the sponsor of this bill that he steps it down for more legislative input, and consultation, which would be more in tune with our beliefs and the norms. But I do not believe it's a legislation that should pass for second reading. I so submit.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues. I want to comment as the second to the last speaker spoke. In fact, the bill that was moved by the sponsor, we are supposed to commend him. I agree Nigeria is a secular state where we have different opinions, traditions, religion, and what have you. But if you see this motion or this bill, it will help Nigerians to know that these commercial banks, especially Taj Bank and what have you, many people have perceived that these banks are specifically for Muslim, while it is not. So by expanding this nature, I believe when it is encompasses to everybody, many people will see the benefit of this bill, and I believe in the near future, many people will see that the mover put this in a right direction. Thank you very much.
Honorable Kuye. I rise to add my voice to this all-important motion for a bill to amend our constitution with respect to the expansion of the description of Islamic law. Let me start by saying that the constitution mandates our government that they shall not adopt any religion as a state religion, meaning that Nigeria is a secular state. Number two is the fact that Section 38 is very clear as to the rights given to all Nigerians in terms of choice of religion and how they worship. Section 2 goes further to say that Nigeria is a federation consisting of the federal government and then the state governments, giving the states the liberality to adopt whatever kind of law they want to use in governing their people. And that's why we have some states with all this Sharia law and all of that. They are permitted to do it, the State House of Assembly. But the Constitution, as a ground norm that governs all of us, the traditional institutions, the Obas in the Yoruba land, the Igwe in the east, the Shakiri, the Fulanis, the Hausas, gives us only one right, the right to choose whichever one we want. We can therefore not allow this constitution to become so filled with frivolities that is supposed to be the mandate of the state. We have all been clamoring for physical federalism. Give more power to the states to do it the way they want, to do it in the way of the culture of their people. And that's why I will want to implore the mover of this motion to please allow us to please step down this amendment for the time being, so that we can deliberate more on it. Because of course, from the way I see it, is such that the state should be considering, not here. The problem of religious war, we started as far back as 1938 in this country. Let it not start here again. Let it not be that it is this house that is going to put fuel to the very fragile democracy, to the very fragile situation, the unity between us. It's very important. As we are talking now, people are hearing us, people are seeing us, thinking that we want to promote one religion over the other. I therefore pray that we step this down for the time being. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Of an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to review the description of Islamic law in the Constitution as related matters, HB 1502. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any second? Yes, sir. Kwakwansia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein.
Distinguished colleagues, briefly, as the chair or the speaker requested, the 1999 Constitution, as amended, the 1999 Constitution, as amended, Mr. Speaker, provide for a personal Islamic law in the Constitution. The Constitution did not envisage the dynamism and the development coming off in the country. In 2003, the Constitution did not recognize that the Islamic commercial law, Islamic company law, Islamic international law, Islamic public laws. In 2003, Mr. Speaker, Taj Bank came up under the commercial Islamic law. In 2019, another bank came up under the commercial law. That means the Jaiz Bank, not the Taj Bank. The Jaiz Bank was in 2004. The Taj Bank came in 2019. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you look at the personal law, it only encompasses marriage, divorce, and the inheritance. Therefore, what I'm requiring is the removal of the removal of personal in section 24 of the Constitution, section 262, section 277, and section 288, so that other relevant laws like the public, the commercial law, Islamic commercial law, the Islamic company law, the Islamic international law can have a place in the Constitution. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, this is what I want the honorable colleagues to support so that this amendment can be done. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mr. who is calling, I think, is in the right direction to give a backup for the commercials and other laws that already they are practicing without proper backing, particularly in our Islamic-related financial institution of not only limited to Taj Bank or Jaiz Bank, but there are several banks that are now practicing, particularly the Mudahara and the other sharing formulas. I think this is a very welcome development that it will give even an economic leeway for the nation to see the goodness of such practices in our financial institution to get the backup of the law. I do support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, Bob Solomon, please.
Solomon Bob, from the great state of Rivers. Now, this matter, actually, I think it will be dealt with in better technical detail at the committee level for constitutional review, because there's so much to say about this kind of okay, I'm sorry, I was told you were not listening to me. I'm saying that this bill will be better dealt with in broader technical detail at the level of committee for constitutional review. But straight off, the section you're referring to, if it is removed, the word personal is removed, the implication immediately is that Islamic law will now have a general application with respect to criminal law across the country. The word personal there was put for a purpose. So if you remove it, that's the implication. It will have great consequences. So we can look at the details of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve, and advise at the committee level. With respect to the references made to Taj Bank and Jaiz Bank, their operations have not been in any way hindered. There are regulations dealing with those matters concerning banks, CBN Act, and all the rest of them. So those are matters that the banks can deal with. They don't have to incorporate, or attract or drag interest with respect to commercial ambitions to the Constitution. So essentially, Mr. Speaker, my point is this bill should be referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review, where we can sit down and then look at it to a T in every way. Thank you.
Thank you for making it brief. I like
the federal constituency of Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I want to, with respect, differ from the mover of the bill on the need for us to amend the Nigerian Constitution in this particular instance. And I'm saying this, Mr. Speaker, because as students of history, we all know the issues surrounding the particular section in reference, especially at the various constituent assemblies leading to the 1979 Constitution, the 1989 Constitution that was not promulgated, and now the 1999 Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the drafters of the Nigerian Constitution are very conscious of the secularity of the Nigerian nation, and also very conscious of the sensitive nature of religion. And I remember the 1976 Constituent Assembly, the 1979 Constitution, was very, very contentious on this matter until the then federal military government came in to stop further debate on this matter and took a decision that the application of Islamic laws will only
be constrained to personal matters, which has to do with administration of estates and some other issues. Mr. Speaker, we have to be very, very cautious of whatever we do to alter the Nigerian constitution in a manner that will further widen the divides that we have as a country. And in any case, Mr. Speaker, like my previous colleague said, the matters which my colleague seek to address by this proposal is already covered by existing laws. The Kama law, covers regulation on issue of finances and allows for application of Islamic principles of financial transaction. The same thing with the CBN Act, like you rightly said. And the moment we allow the Constitution to be altered to take care of all manner of interests, we will no longer be in the state where the sanctity of the Constitution is respected, and the intent of the drafters of the Nigerian Constitution via or as regards to the secular nature of the Nigerian nation might be threatened if we allow this to go on. Mr. Speaker, I sincerely think that this bill should not pass on for the second reading for these reasons I've adduced. Thank you.
Thank you. Abdul Hakim Kamilu Ado, representing Udilgarko Federal Constituency, Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I would like to make it brief to say that while being cautious, but we have to consider, and considering also the divisions we have in this country, we have to consider the ethics, the values, and the interest of the masses. Because we are here in this hollow chamber to represent the Nigerians, and also not to make a religion or a tribe or a community, not to constrain them from practicing something which is their way of life. We all know that Nigeria comprises of so many religions and also tribes and communities. But these religious matters, we consider it as a way of life, not just a mere religion. So considering the ethics and the values and the interest of the masses, not looking at the division or being cautious of what this will cause, Mr. Speaker, I think this bill is supposed to pass for the second reading. In my opinion, Mr. Speaker, we need to commend the Honorable Misau for coming up with this bill in order to unite and to create a free room or an interest for people that are practicing Islamic religion to practice their religion freely and to consider some way of lives which comprises so many things. Talk less of the commercial that he talked about. There are so many things we need to consider in order to encompass it under this bill. If at all we are considering this bill to be passed via the committee, then, Mr. Speaker, as you said earlier, that we are here as parliamentarians in order to pass bills, and it doesn't have to go through the committee. So we can pass it, and then later on the committee can consider what they can do about the bill. But we are here to debate it, and we are debating it. So let us go on with the debate, and later on consider what we can go with in this hollow chamber. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much,
Speaker. My name is Honorable Isa Muhammad Anka, representing Anka Talata Mafra constituency. I'm from Zamfara State. My able Speaker, our honorable colleagues, I wouldn't want to dwell on issues already spoke by the last speaker. In other words, he has spoken my mind. But the other speaker, the last but one, talked about karma. Karma is already embedded in the constitutions. Therefore, it takes care of other commercial laws. And I think we need to understand the subject matter of this bill. The bill is calling for discrimination description of Islamic law. In other words, the bill is seeking the House to define, because of the existing situations now, looking at the issue of, like he rightly caught, other commercial laws that have not been embedded, that have not been taken care into the Constitution. I think it's a straightforward bill. He is not calling the fact that, he's not calling for expanding the existing Sharia law, but rather to define it in order to encompass all those, existing situations that have just come up. That is my contribution, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's not talking about Sharia law. He's talking about the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So that we get it right, his bill is about the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not the Sharia law. Okay, Jonathan, please, let's hear you.
My name is Honorable Said Musa Abdullahi. I represent the people of Bida, Bakoka, Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I think we need not lose sight of what the proposer of the bill intends to achieve. I understand how sensitive matters related to religion are, especially in this country. But the fact of the matter is, we cannot treat religion issues in isolation. There are issues that we must bring to the front burner and discuss, irrespective of how sensitive they are. I didn't want to stand, but I looked at the sensitivity. Even from the argument, you could see the sensitivity that is driving the sentiment that is driving the argument. But if we focus, if we focus on what the bill intends to achieve, the bill intends to review the description of Islamic law, which means it's already enshrined in the Constitution. What it seeks to achieve is to review the description. So it's already in the Constitution. I don't understand why we will see it as something that will lead to snowball into a crisis or what have you. This is what we have done that over the years that has led us to not make progress on certain issues. It doesn't matter how sensitive these issues are. We must be able to debate them. This is what our people sent us here to do. If we run away from discussing a problem, if we assume it to be a problem, and we're running away from discussing it, how will you provide a solution to it? I will agree and accept the fact that there is need for further, broader consultation. But for us to run away from the problem, for us to drop it and say it's not an issue to be discussed on this floor, I don't think it's something that is acceptable. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
My name is Honorable Abejide. I represent the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency. I'm from Kogi State. Mine is an appeal because of the mood in the House now, that this bill be stepped down for when we have all our leaders seated, so that they can also contribute to the debates. I want to appeal that if you look today now, most of the leaders are on their way to Jigawa State to commiserate with them. Because of the sensitive nature of this bill, my appeal is for us to step it down and let us have a full house and full time to discuss this bill. We cannot rush it. The way we want to rush it, it may not even get the result that we want the bill to achieve. I'm not saying the bill should not go. All I'm saying is that let us have time to discuss it in full. As I'm speaking to you, I have not seen the details of the bill. So, and for us to be able to contribute meaningfully, we need the details of this bill. Without the details of the bill, if you are talking, you are only talking to the air. Maybe it's different from those sections you are quoting in the Constitution. It may not have any issue to deal with it. Let us have the details of this bill so that we digest it and come back another day for the debate. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues.
No matter how you look at it, our diversity is what defines us. So when issues like this come up, it must be thoroughly looked into and should not be done in a haste. Let me ask you, how many of you have copies of this bill? If you have, I would like to know the percentage of people who have copies of this bill. And you can, if I ask you about one or two paragraphs, you read it for me. If I appoint you now, say, give me 2-3 paragraphs in that bill, and you're able to mention it to us, it means that you have it. Let me ask you, if you know you don't have a copy, raise your hand. And it is the rule of this house that you must have a copy so that you debate from that copy. If you say you have a copy, I'll call you now and I'll ask you questions on some of the paragraphs and the sections he's referring to. You will not be able to answer it. And this issue is an issue that we need to thoroughly analyze.
Please, order please.
It is our rule here that issues like this, we must have copies we look at. And if the copies are not there, we take another step. But I won't be taking that step from this chair. It will come from the house. So if the majority of the people say they don't have copies of this bill, whether it is good or bad, you don't have the copies, you need to have the copies for us to deliberate on it. Let me hear you, Nkem Kama.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Kama Nkem Kama is my name. I represent the awesome people of Ohozara, Onitsha, and Iwo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, this motion is a very sensitive one. This bill is a very sensitive one. And before this bill can be talked about here or debated, one, I believe that all of us here should have a copy of this bill to look at it and be able to go through it because of the sensitivity of this particular bill, sir. Mr. Speaker, I don't envy you today, but one thing I'm very sure, I hereby move that this bill...
Please, somebody has the floor. Allow him to finish, then we'll recognize you.
And I have the procedure of the Speaker. I hereby move that this bill be stepped down today and let it be shared for all of us to have a look at before further action can be taken on this bill. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I represent Andoni Opobo Nkoro Federal Constituency. I am a Rivers man. Mr. Speaker, my very distinguished colleagues, recall that just yesterday I had a bill to alter a section of the Nigerian Constitution as well. And concerns were raised that portion was well crafted in the interest of the peace and unity of this country. That amendment should be stepped down. It took Justice Speaker presiding yesterday to step down that bill. One common interest for the peace, unity of this country. This is similar to what we did yesterday, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, for that same singular purpose of the unity of this country, the peace and stability of all of us, I second this motion, since it has gotten to this point, that this bill be stepped down for this moment so that we can do elaborate engagement and get back to it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Move a second.
Point of order, sir.
You throw the question open to the House. So we'll vote now.
Point of order, sir.
If, please, don't order when the Speaker is speaking. You don't order him. You can only order when others are speaking.
Point of order.
So
when
what we'll do...
Point of order, you should take it. Mr. Speaker, point of order. You shouldn't ignore us. Please.
Please. Can you hear Mr. Speaker first, please? Now, the motion here is that it be stepped down. You can say no. If the vote say no, don't step it down. Mr. Speaker has no right to step it down. But the motion has been moved and seconded. If we say
our laws are very clear, Mr. Speaker. When there is a point of order, who is
speaking?
Please, I'm the one.
No. Please sit down, please. Sit down. When we vote and the vote says no, we don't step it down, we vote on the main issue raised by the bill. After all, it's a constitutional matter. He can also go to, Manu, don't be unruly, please.
No, I'm not being unruly.
We can also vote on it and it will go to constitutional review. You understand? And then if it goes to constitutional review, we go public hearing. So there are so many ways to solve this problem. Let's not leave our procedure. Okay? So let me ask the question. Those in support that it be stepped down, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. How do we measure the decibel? Let me ask again. Those in support that it be stepped down, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The nays have it. That this be read the second time. Say aye. Those against, say nay. Nay!
This one is clear.
The nays have it. All right, it's good to vote on these things and then decide thereafter. It's not my decision, it's your decision. Thank you very much.
Good about as viewers, this is Satellite Media, the Waymaker. Let us look at this issue. Remember that the issue of Sharia law, Sharia Administration Panel have been a major concern for people in Nigeria. I understand you are from the Middle Belt, but looking at what is happening currently in some places in Nigeria, particularly in Kano and Bauchi State, a situation where in Kano, some people were arrested for not fasting. And in Bauchi State, a man flogged the wife to death for not observing the Sharia or rather Islamic rule and law. But do you think with all this, the Sharia Administration Panel, Sharia law can gain ground in other areas?
No, of course, the Sharia law is motion is dead on arrival because if you see what these Fulanis, these people over there in the north are doing with hashbag, with Sharia law, you agree with me that they cannot stand. As I speak to you now, which Yoruba Muslim have you ever seen start beating their children because they did not fast? Fasting should be a personal something. If you decided to fast to your God and pray to your God, it should be your personal. You are not forcing somebody to fast. They don't force anybody to fast. But reverse is the case of what they are doing in the north, whereby because of Sharia law, Ishba will go and arrest some Christians that are eating. That why are they eating during fasting? For me, this is not good. This is not how the Prophet Muhammad interpret the Quran to them. Why are they doing all these things? The Arab world that introduced this religion to them, are they practicing it the way they are practicing? The answer is no. Go to United Arab Emirates. There are Christians there. They allow them to go there and do their normal activities. You are flogging people because they are not ready to fast. Maybe probably you see your wife eating, you go and flog your wife. That's why they refer to them as a religious people. This is not how to serve God. You don't force people to serve God. Allow everybody to be. These people are just trying all their possible means for everybody to do what they like. And that's why you see all these fights, they destroy here, they cause here, Boko Haram, all these things. This is not accepted. I keep saying it that you are privileged to be a Muslim, maybe by birth. You meet your parents to be a Muslim or a Christian. Or maybe probably it's due to life circumstances, you decided to change to be a Christian or a Muslim. Why must you force people to do what you are doing? Allow people to say, what this man is doing, I like the God he worship. And the person who goes to it, but trying to force people to do what they are not intent to do. For me, it's a very big sin in the sight of God. And that's why people are criticizing the Christians in the Southwest, the Muslims in the Southwest, even criticizing what they are doing. They are criticizing it. You cannot, we expect
for the man that flogged the wife to death, I think that person should face the wrath of the law anyway. But in Islamic law, I don't know whether you know anything about it. Do they have any provision to deal with such issues?
No, that's why we are saying, they follow this Sharia law. This Sharia law is only God that knows where these people bring the law from. Because if you see it now, the Sharia law will judge it that it's true, that the man have authority over the wife. Why did the wife not fight? If they can go and kill somebody because somebody say Prophet Muhammad is doing this, Prophet Muhammad, they go and kill the person. And they did not judge about it. Will you now say somebody who flogged the wife to death, they will go? As I speak to you today, the Sultan of Sokoto, they didn't talk about the Deborah death. How many of them that criticize that? What they are saying that by killing Deborah is better because Deborah they said according to them that Deborah making jest of their God. Why don't you fight for God? How can you fight for the man you did not know? The Prophet Muhammad, they are fighting for this. Have they seen Prophet Muhammad before? Likewise you and I. Have you seen Jesus before? Why will I go and fight for Jesus? Jesus fight for me, will fight for me. Jesus, I won't fight for Jesus. Likewise, we are also telling them, stop killing people. People that you cannot create. You are killing the people because of the God you serve. Did you see Muhammad? Have you seen Jesus Christ? The answer is no. So why will you not go and kill somebody because of you said the person is making jest of Muhammad? For me, that's why we are saying that this country has to be divided. Let these people be on the separate. Because one will be thinking that why will you bring this kind of people to come and join us at the first place? It's not fair. It's not good. Because their mentality is quite different. I was privileged to watch an interview of Mazin Ambikano. That's why I hold that man in a high esteem. And people refer to me whether I'm Igbo. I'm not an Igbo. I'm from Middle Belt, from Kogi, and I'm proud of where I'm coming from. Mazin Ambikano, they were asking him. They said, sir, you are trying by all possible means to liberate your people from Nigeria. Why can't you focus on these Southeast governors and make sure they make Southeast a better place? He said, no, he cannot do that. Because these people over there, their mentality is quite different from theirs.
Now, Mr. James Iwemeka, I understand that in a place like Afghanistan, where Taliban have formed government, they enforce Sharia law. We can see them clearly flog women when they disobey their Sharia laws. But are we likely going to see a session of Taliban in Nigeria?
Yes, of course, as the situation is going on, it will happen because this is the first time for me whereby a governor, sitting governor, whereby you know that you have Christians, you have Muslims, you have idol worshippers, you have different people. People are there, they are not even idol worshippers, they are not Christian, they are not Muslim, they are living in the state, and you declare 1 month. You close the school for 1 month because of fasting. So tomorrow, if Christians are also doing their fasting, will you go to shut down the state?
And which state is that?
Well, we have Bauchi is there. I think Katsina is there, and one other state in the north. So for me, we are saying that it's wrong. It's wrong. How can you
shut down a whole state?
Shut down the month, 4 to 5 weeks because of Ramadan. Children will not go to school. And even the Christians have got to court for the sake of this because many parents have paid for the term. Many parents are paying for the money, and you're not telling the parents the children have to stay at home, both the ones that are not Muslim. That's why everybody is condemning it. That is wrong. It's because the reason why these northern people are doing this, because they know that whether they work or not, at the end of the day, they will be fight for them to share in Abuja. That's why we are saying that Tinubu should summon courage and restructure this country. Let these people be productive for themselves. We cannot be working over there and feeding these people over there.
Okay, now let us take this conversation further because I understand that a place like Sokoto, Yobe, and some other places in the north have the highest level of out-of-school children in the Nigeria. In some cases, you have 60-70% out-of-school children. Talking about children who are between the age of 6 and 15, about 60-70% of them not in school. all this Sharia law, Sharia injunction, and all this government approach to Islamic law, could it be part of the reason we are seeing this high level of out-of-school children in the north?
Yes, of course. The northerners, majority of them do not believe in this Western education. They felt that it's I don't know.
It's haram.
It's yes. So they don't believe. They believe that their children should go to IKEU. Their children should go to. That's why it's Islamia. That's why you see the Islamize in the north. They don't believe in education. It's few of them that came to the south here that they put their children in school. And that's why you see that these destructions, where Boko Haram are taking over the territory of the north, whereby even they don't allow their farmers to go to farm. They charge them for them to pay before they can access their farm. These are the things former President Goodluck Jonathan was trying to do, where he was building a Islamize school for them to open these people out, because don't forget, education play a major role in this country. Even despite that after school you don't see work, but notwithstanding, it is because of the education you have that make you to have this phone and be interviewing me so that the whole world will watch it. If your parents did not strive for at least for you to get a basic education, maybe from primary 1 to 6, whereby you can read, you can speak, will you be able to do this thing? Many people in the north cannot do it, and that's why you see there's abject poverty in the north. If the south here are still striving, despite the damage the Tinubu government is causing to our economy is in shambles. We don't know where Tinubu is taking us to as it is right now, but yet the south are still striving because of that education. Our parents have tried to acquire for us. Even some parents will still, even if they cannot feed, they will still strive to make sure at least you get primary 6 knowledge of education, whereby you can read, you can write your name. So over there, they don't allow them.
Ask this question: the woman who was flogged to death for not fasting, who will actually seek justice for her now?
There's no justice for her in the north. They've accepted their fate. They feel that it's against the law. The woman have go wrong against the law. That is it. That's why I am grateful, because I'm a Christian, because all these things what Jesus came to pay for me. You remember during in the Bible, let's go to the Bible, in the time of Moses, whereby a man, if a wife go outside and go and sleep with another man, what they do, the law of Moses stone the woman to death. But when Jesus came, he told them that which of you that have not seen here, who should be the first person to cast his soul. They left one after the other. Because you that is condemning somebody in one way or the other, your hands are stains. So it's a privilege, and I'm not hiding it. I was once a Christian, but today I give glory to God that I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Yes, I was a Muslim. I'm not condemning any religion here. I'm not condemning any religion. Everybody's entitled to his own religion. But I tell you that the way these northern people are even practicing this is Islamic. It's uncalled for. Everybody have right to practice their Christian. If you say you believe in Muhammad, good, fine, serve your God. If I say I believe in Jesus Christ, allow me to serve my God. If my brother says believe in juju, let him do his juju. Everybody will give account of his own. So why
still worship?
Yes. Why are you trying to force people to do? Yesterday, when I went to church, let me brief you. I went to church to do evangelism early in the morning, and I was telling the young guy, Alpha, how are you? Can you follow me to church? He said, no, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a Sango worshiper. I told my possible mate to try to convince him. I said, what? My God can do it better than you. My God can do this thing. He said, no, he doesn't lack anything. The God is have provide everything for him. Will I go and force him to come and join my God? I've done my best. What the Bible asked me to do, it's now left whether God want to arrest him or not. But some people will tell you that it is by fire, by force. You must come and serve my God. And that's what we are saying, that it should stop. It should stop. If you cannot create human being, don't kill. Something you cannot create, don't kill. These people have taken the heart of it. They will be brainwashing them. This man have told them before. This former CBN governor, what is his name? This former emir of Sanusi. I've told them that they are brainwashing them. Whereby some imam will tell them that if you kill, you will get a paradise you will get a good portion in paradise or in heaven. And that's why you see most of them are misbehaving this way. So I think enough is enough. And if they don't want to change, let them restructure this country. Let them be in their own side. Let everybody see their own. You will see commotion everywhere. In the southeast this morning, I saw in the paper where southeast a driver was killed. A northern driver was killed in the southeast, and they are busy protesting in Jos, as I speak to you this morning. So that's to tell you that the country, we are not one. We are just deceiving ourselves. We are prolonging the evil day. Restructure this country. Let everybody go on their own separate way. If you don't want everybody to go on their own separate way, restructure the country. Let everybody to control their place, so that peace can be restored to Nigeria. Because this is not Nigeria, Awolowo, Azikiwe, Gowon. I'm not meaning Gowon. The rest of them fought for. I believe they are regretting in their grave that I wish they know. They will have allowed Biafra. They will have allowed everybody to go their separate way than allowing us to join together. Because for me, if you call this a country, this is not more a country. A country under Tinubu government, whereby we have 3 arms of government, we have the we have the executive, we have the judiciary, we have the legislature. But under Tinubu government, as I speak to you, we only have one executive that is functioning. Tinubu government has pocketed the judiciary and the legislature. Whereby even not only Tinubu alone, in each state have pocketed the executive in the state have pocketed their judiciary and the legislature. Whereby whatever the governor said is final. The legislature they now interpreted money. They are not more interpreting the law, and that's why everything they follow to me have wrote on that book. He has been vindicated. Mazin and the Kano have also been vindicated.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. This is Islamic. This is a good